Hi, Demijack here. Now, today I want to talk about RimWorld and the Classification Board. Now, in case you don't know, the Classification Board on February 28th refused classification for RimWorld. It was banned in Australia, you're not allowed to buy it. It's too much for you according to the Australian Classification Board. Well, it appears last night, around 6 or 7, it was reviewed for classification, and I was following the news very closely yesterday about this because I knew it was getting reviewed. I saw the tweet refused classification made that it was getting reviewed. It got unbanned. I just want to say that it got unbanned, and it should have never been banned in the first place. The store page for RimWorld is actually live now in Australia, which is good because you couldn't actually access it. They blocked it off for you on Steam. Now, how did this all happen, you're probably wondering. Because RimWorld is a 2013 game. How did this all happen? It appears that the Classification Board leaked when they banned it that there was a console version in the works for RimWorld. Yes, that is right. You'll be able to buy it on console soon. And they banned it due to drugs, because they have a high stance on drugs. It's like, oh yeah, can't do drugs, not in video games, it's too much for you. Basically what it is, drugs are fine, but if you get rewarded from drugs, then that is not fine. That is why I'm pretty sure We Happy Few is banned in Australia. I think it got unbanned and then got banned again. Hopefully that doesn't happen to RimWorld. The Classification Board, they think they're fighting drugs. That's what they do. They think they're fighting drugs. They're not fighting drugs, because anyone who wants to do drugs is just gonna do drugs. They're not gonna do drugs because they saw it in a video game or did it in a video game and then be like, oh, you know what? I really want to do some Luciferium. That's what I want to do after playing RimWorld. No. It doesn't work like that. By the way, for people who don't play RimWorld, Luciferium is a drug in RimWorld. I just want to point that out. It's not a real drug. It's not a real drug, but they still banned it. They think they're fighting drugs. They're not. They're not. Their job is to review video games and films and books and stuff and rate them on a classification. They're not supposed to take a stance on drugs. And if I was Prime Minister of this country, I would reform the Classification Board. However, I can't be Prime Minister because I'm a dual citizen, which is a bullshit law, because I'm actually a dual citizen of Australia and New Zealand. I have it because New Zealand is my fail-safe if anything actually happens to this country. Why did they ban it? Well, it's the drugs. And they don't like that sort of stuff. And they think they're fighting drugs, as I said. However, yesterday, RimWorld was allowed for sale in Australia. It was a 4-panel board. They unanimously decided, hey, you know what? RimWorld is allowed for sale. It's not targeted at kids. It's targeted at an adult audience. The drugs aren't real drugs. And it is in a fantasy world. And I was like, bravo. Because apparently we have a separate board in Australia. I didn't know about this till yesterday. We have a separate board that reviews this sort of stuff when this stuff happens. Apparently they said that the refused classification was unlawful. Now, in case you haven't been following Tynan, he's the creator of RimWorld Twitter account. He's been asking on Twitter yesterday for evidence against his case for games that have drugs in them that are allowed for sale in Australia. And many people said GTA, yes, you can smoke marijuana in that game. They also said basically all of the Elder Scrolls, Skooma, Fallout, because the shams, they're basically drugs. Disco Elysium, which I believe did get banned but is allowed for sale now, and so forth. Personally, I didn't know you could classify something, then say, no, that's banned. I didn't know you could do that. I actually thought that was unlawful, but apparently that's something you can do. But apparently the Review Classification Board can overturn it. So this is all a news world to me. I didn't even know there was a whole board for that sort of stuff. But yeah, RimWorld is allowed for sale in Australia as of today. Well, as of yesterday. And the Steam page is back on RimWorld. You can read all the reviews in Australia. So if you haven't got this game, I'd probably get it, whether you're on console or computer, because it is coming to console. That's in the works as far as I know, and you can get it on Steam. So yeah, go buy RimWorld. I highly recommend it. It's one of the greatest games, in my honest opinion, ever made. However, the game has been rated on R18, which I was saying when it was banned. I didn't say on the channel because I didn't report on it. But I was saying to all my friends and all my family that it should have been R18. They should have just slapped an R18 rating on it. So that's the story of RimWorld and its refused classification. The right thing was done in the end, thank God, because I was seriously contemplating moving to New Zealand. I thought it was time to enact my fail-safe. To be honest, New Zealand is a lot better when it comes to classification. Let's just say that, and that's why it's my fail-safe. They have a relaxed approach to classifying their shit. So, let me know what you think, and I'm glad the Australian government did the right thing in the end. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it. Shouldn't have banned it in the first place. I just want to say that. That was wrong. It should have never been banned in the first place. But they fixed it in the end. That is why I love this country, because when it makes mistakes, it fixes it in the end. Anyway, let me know what you thought about this down below, and I will see you all next time. That is the story of RimWorld and its refused classification. Please subscribe for more videos. I'm planning on doing longer videos, bringing them back to the channel, maybe every like 1 or 2 weeks or whatever. Just spice it up on shorts is what I reckon, because the channel's getting pretty stale. And as I said, if you don't own RimWorld, go buy it right now. It is a great game. It has a lot of mods. It is honestly my favorite game in the whole wide world. I'll see you all next time. This is Demijack, as always, signing out.